TikTok might not exist by the time this episode comes out.
I know, which is crazy. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you kind of nailed it. Because here's the thing. TikTok is not our main platform. So in terms of like worrying about losing it, we have nothing to lose, you know? And so I haven't really like had to deep dive into anything with it because it's not my main platform. And we haven't really even been working on growing it because it's kind of been like,
might go away.
It might not be here. So I would just dump my energy into something else until I know better, you know? But
now, I will say this. Chelsea's been building her platform. It's quite a bit bigger than the podcast and definitely a lot bigger than my platform as well for quite some time. And for a while, we felt like we missed the bus on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were the old people that couldn't work a DVD player. And we're like, absolutely not.
But also at that time, though, you were working,
yeah,
right? Like, and so the amount of work that goes into social media is so much more than really anybody realizes. And when you were working and I had the kids, and like Instagram was really all I could manage. The idea of taking on a separate platform like YouTube or TikTok or anything else was just too much for me. And so when you were able to be here, it was kind of like, well, maybe we missed the boat.
Yeah, and it was rough because we definitely, obviously, we know a lot of creators, especially in Utah, and we definitely sat on the sidelines and watched a lot of people make a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Because they committed, and, congrats to them. And it's no shade on them in any way, shape, or form. And if anything, I feel for them because that could be a substantial income source that is just gone.
Yeah.
But I just remember thinking, man, this was like a Bitcoin moment for us.
Yeah. Like maybe
not as dramatic as Bitcoin, because I spent $500 on a guitar instead of Bitcoin, and that would have changed everything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird having that go away now. What do you think? Like, are we right to do away by TikTok, or like where do you stand with that?
No, I don't think.
But why not?
Here's the thing. I don't necessarily believe that the government should be able to just come in and rip something out from under you, right? In certain aspects. And I think that it actually was probably the most accurate way of describing how I feel when you were watching that video the other day, when it was like, okay, well, we could maybe try to make our schools safer. And it was like, nope, we can't do that, but we can ban TikTok. And then it's like, okay.
How about affordable health insurance?
Like, nope, but we can ban TikTok. How about more affordable groceries? Nope, but we can ban TikTok. And I'm like, why are we worrying about something? Like, I mean, you can talk about surveillance all you want, but also like I'm being surveyed by my Alexa right now.
What?
Like,
you're going to turn on the house assistant. She's listening.
I know, but I'm just saying she's always listening. That's the thing. Like, she's always listening. Like, I am not under any guise that we are not being surveyed
by multiple things. Like right now, like our iPhones are doing it.
Yes, like by our own government.
Yeah,
and Furbies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not. And so for me, I'm like, we've got way bigger issues that are our own issues that we could resolve.
But we spent a lot of effort and a lot of time to remove TikTok, which, I mean, for kids, I could see that there's a danger for social media for kids, and I could see some of those things, but like more dangerous than like not being able to get. Also be a parent. Well, yeah, but like what I'm trying to say, like it's not more dangerous than like not being able to get an inhaler at a reasonable price.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or like,
yes. Well, the other video that I saw about it this morning that I really resonated with, and like, whoa, that was weird. I like kind of felt emotional for a second, was this girl that was talking about how she was like, influencers aren't like TikTok influencers that are upset that TikTok is going away. They're not out of touch.
No.
And she was like, you are out of touch for not understanding A, how much work it is, and then B, not understanding that social media is one of the only female dominated industries where truly we run the world. We do.
Yeah.
Like, as women, social media is mostly run by women. Like, and to, you know, she was talking about how like a lot of creators, if they don't have a platform somewhere else, which a lot of them don't, they are going to have to go back to industries that are male dominated, right?
Well, and like, you know, you're like, well, why don't you just build another platform? It doesn't work like that.
It freaking takes forever. That's why. Like, I know a creator that I met last year at an event, and her TikTok presence, she has like 4 million followers, and then her Instagram presence has like 106. And
106,000?
106,000. But, and so I know that presence is still large. However, Instagram business is harder to bring in than TikTok business. Instagram followers are way harder to gain than TikTok followers. Like, those communities are very different now.
And they're ultra valuable. Like, being able to say I have 5 million followers when you're talking to a brand,
that matters.
You get paid a considerable
well,
amount
and people
more.
just think that you're going back and forth between both apps and that people are like generally active on both apps, but that is not the case. No. Do you know how many times? So our platform is sitting a little over 100,000, right? Somewhere between 100 and 110,000 on Instagram. Do you know how many times I've told people there to come over and follow us on TikTok?
I have no idea, actually.
A bunch. And do you want to know how many followers I have on TikTok? 9,700.
Yeah.
Because my Instagram community is not interested in coming to TikTok. People are TikTok consumers or Instagram consumers. They can be both, but one is their preference.
Yeah.
Right? And so it breaks my heart to knowing how hard I've worked and knowing, and especially like, and you can take this, you know, down a crazy road, but knowing how many men I have told, whether they were, you know, family or friends or a neighbor, that this was my full-time job, and the way that they've like laughed at me over time, right? And then to think that as a woman, you're going to go right back into an industry that is not built for you, you know?
Or just like, yeah, there's nothing.
I mean, as a woman, there are a lot of industries that are not built to accommodate you.
Yeah.
There's differences in pay. There's differences in, I mean, as a creator, if I have a baby, like I have the
flexibility to do whatever
to
you
honor
want.
my body and be a mother, and like the workforce doesn't do that here. So there's just so much that goes into it. So I really am pulling for all the people on TikTok because they've worked really hard.